Yes. Welcome to Way Way Back 19XDX. I am your cyberpunk fog host, Pixel Polygon. It is very red down here today. It's awesome. And if you haven't noticed from the obnoxious floating holographic images, it is October. Halloween is upon us. We are playing Spookyvania, made by Spookami, starring Spooky Belmont, and you're on a quest to defeat Nasty Fangman. That's the canonical story, let me tell you. But yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining. Took last week off, accidentally, and slept through the evening, but that's okay, because we are this much closer to Halloween, and Castlevania is, by my count, the next canonical game that I experienced as a young boy who got obsessed with all this nonsense. Very excited to play this. If you've been keeping up with this show, my shtick is I go through my game collection and I try to play through everything that I own in the order that I remember. It might not be 100% perfect to reality, but so far I've tried to keep it as authentic as possible. So yeah, 2 episodes ago, I played a little Dig Dug 2, Trouble in Paradise. That is an excellent and very fun game. Really strange take and twist on the original. And that was one of 2 games that I got as a gift from my uncle for Christmas that year. The other one was Castlevania, which I feel has absolutely shaped and defined tastes that I have in a whole bunch of things. Video games included, horror movies, heavy metal music, Manowar, fucking, Frank Frazetta art turned into music. Castlevania has all of this. I mean, this is, as you can see on the American box art, compared to this Japanese flyer for the Disk System version, which was the original Nintendo-based home version. It's just totally this grotesque, awesome, muscle badass with a fucking whip. A whip isn't even going to kill a vampire. You need to stake that bitch through the heart. The artwork's amazing. It's some of my favorite artwork in video games of all time. This game is known for being incredibly difficult. So difficult, I learned that the Famicom Disk System game, I guess there are lots of people who, I presume... Thanks, 500 points. I presume that people wrote in to magazines, maybe they complained to Konami. I learned that people bitched about the difficulty of this game so much that an actual cartridge, or if you want to call it cassette version, was released that had an easy mode. I don't really know if what we got in North America is that. I mean, there's no difficulty select, as far as I know, in the game, and it's definitely pretty challenging. So we're gonna dive into it. I can barely imagine what it must have been like for myself as a kid trying to get through this. I think I was able to get up to Medusa and could never really break past her. I have a feeling that tonight we'll get to the mummies, and that's usually where I start to get my ass kicked. Although I watched a little tip on how to actually beat them. There's a block in the corner of the screen that if you jump down into their area, you can jump back up on, and then you're pretty safe. You can just crouch and whip them in the head as they try to walk by. What I normally do is jump down with that block, and I think you get an item. It might be a weapon or power-up or multiplier or something. And so I'm going to try to not do that. See if we can get into some uncharted territory with this game. I'm not promising anything. I don't think we're going to finish this game tonight. So we got a comment from 500 points. Thanks so much for tuning in. Always a pleasure to have you. Still have the hand-drawn maps my dad made when he played it after I went to bed. What a game. That is awesome. That is so cool. This copy that I'm going to play is the copy that I got as a gift from my uncle as a kid. I don't have anything that cool, like hand-drawn maps. I always like to look through the instruction booklets and see if I wrote anything in the notes in the back. This, unfortunately, I didn't write anything in here. I have some Mega Man games where I've got stage select passwords and stuff like that written in my crappy little kid handwriting. But it is pretty interesting. This instruction manual opens up with a "Congratulations, you've just purchased the authentic Konami home version of Castlevania, one of Konami's many original arcade hits. We suggest that you read this instruction manual thoroughly before playing the game." And I remember as a kid being like, never seen this game in the arcade before. This is not an arcade hit. There is an arcade version. And if you happen to travel to Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois, which is a short train ride from Union Station in the Loop, they have the original arcade version. I've never seen it anywhere else before. It was called Haunted Castle, and oh my god, it is so difficult. It's like it was designed to just take your money and never play tested by anybody, or any play tester feedback that they got, the developers laughed at, threw it out, because who needs to actually make progress in a game? But you can, in fact, find super plays of that game, because human beings are good at everything they should ignore, and instead of being good at things that matter, they're good at video games, but that's okay. So yeah, Castlevania. Castlevania's also been ported to like every system ever made under the sun. There's an MSX version, there's a Sharp X68K version, which is the best version. It's so good. The art and music are amazing. That version got remade for PlayStation, and I think in North America it was called Castlevania Chronicles, which is one of those weird PlayStation 1 classics that you can't download to your Vita, but you can download it to your PlayStation 3 and then file transfer it to your Vita, and then it still works so you can play it on the go. It's weird. God, what else? I mean, it had countless sequels. NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, there's Castlevania Bloodlines, and of course, like, the king of all Castlevanias, Symphony of the Night, when everything changed, and they mixed up the formula, turned it into an exploration-heavy, kind of RPG, stats-based action game. Personally, I think Aria of Sorrow is the best Metroidvania, because Symphony hasn't really aged that well, but it's still a pretty groundbreaking game. And then, you've got all those 3D games. I had Lament of Innocence for PlayStation 2. I passed on the N64 ones because they got bad scores. I've tried to go back and play the N64 ones, and it's hard to go back to those really rough 3D games. But Lament of Innocence was kind of cool. I want to say I had Curse of Darkness too, and just couldn't get into it. And then we've got the Lords of Shadow series. I mean, who knows what, if anything, will ever happen with Castlevania anymore outside of Pachinko. For anyone who's been following that Castlevania, settle down there, easy with the flippy flappy. That Castlevania Pachinko game is like practically hentai. There was a commercial for it that showed up on YouTube, and the big slogan for Castlevania Pachinko was, and I shit you not, erotic violence. That makes me feel kind of bad, kind of dirty. I don't think that would really fly over here in the West. Maybe that's why Pachinko hasn't taken off yet. Aria of Sorrow is your favorite as well? Hell yeah. Aria of Sorrow is just like a perfect blend of the retro, authentic pixel art style and modern gameplay. I love that it has that obscure sub-quest line where you have to find those 3 items and then you turn into Dracula, and it's got like the true final boss, and all the soul powers are so cool. It's such a good game. So yeah, anyway, enough of me blathering on and on. This is way back, 19XDX, episode 5, Castlevania. Thanks, Uncle Mike. for giving me this game when I was a little kid. It opened my mind to so many hilariously goofy, spooky things, and it's awesome. Let's see if we can beat those mummies tonight. We'll see how far we get. So, probably can't see on the stream, but I've got it already set up and ready to go back there. I'm going to cut this stream, wheel my little office chair over there, and hit broadcast, and hopefully there will be little to no downtime. Yeah, that Metal Gear Solid Pachinko game is something. It's something else entirely when you compare it to Metal Gear Survive. We asked for that. We wanted that, didn't we? Alright, let's get it all foggy and shit in here, and see you guys in just a moment. Stay tuned.